I think that's the real problem right now. Something has happened, and I'm not sure what it is, both in the senior ranks of the American military as well as in Washington among politicians on the Hill and in the White House. They think that this is something they can play with, that this is something they can maneuver. In other words, the whole threat of nuclear war. The Russians take it very seriously. They are not insensitive to the consequences of blast heat and radiation and the loss of millions of lives. But for some reason, we in the West don't seem to think in those terms. And so the Russians are taking prudent measures. They're going to move weapons closer into White Russia. They've already done some of that, as well as areas in the Western theater near St. Petersburg, north of that. And all of this is in response to things that we've been doing. And remember, we only very recently decided, for reasons that make no sense at all, to deploy tactical nuclear weapons to Great Britain, England, in fact. These are weapons designed to be delivered by aircraft against targets like St. Petersburg. So then you look at the Kaliningrad disaster, this general who was the co-architect of the disaster in the Afghan withdrawal, Donahue, a man who spent most of his military career in special ops, where I'm sure he was quite good. I just don't think special ops necessarily prepares you for strategic level thinking and discussions and decision making. But nevertheless, we have no real general staff corps. We have no real meritocracy when it comes to the selection of senior officers. So his statement is frightening, because that's the kind of thing that leads you down the road to a nuclear disaster. And I think whether people realize it or not, we're on that road. I don't think the Russians are bluffing.